Hey guys, it's Lindsay from thetoastedpienut.com. Welcome back to my channel. Today, in honor of St. Patrick's Day on Sunday, I have 3 deliciously fun and festive green recipes for you guys. And I am wearing my green shirt, my green Eagles shirt, aka the only green shirt I apparently own. So I am obsessed with these recipes. They're so fun, they're all so different, and I know you guys are going to like them too. So first one is going to be some spinach pancakes. You can make them in a blender. They are so green, they're so fluffy, and they're really sweet. So your kids are gonna love them, your husband's gonna love them, you are gonna love them. They're gonna be the perfect green brunch to have on St. Patrick's Day. And you whip them up in a blender so you know they are super easy. You can top them with just traditional butter and maple syrup or add some whipped cream and fresh berries. You can't go wrong. They are so good, and the color is just stunning and gorgeous. So I know you guys are going to love these pancakes. The thing with green pancakes is that you rebrand them. You call them green monster, green alien, green dinosaur pancakes. Your kids die over them and they taste really good. So I'm excited to see how you guys like these spinach pancakes. The second recipe is a roasted spaghetti squash with green pesto. We're making a traditional pesto untraditionally because we're adding nutritional yeast instead of cheese. So it still has that cheesy flavor, but it's completely dairy free. It's vegan and it's so delicious. We're keeping it simple with just the spaghetti squash and the pesto, but you can really get creative, add different toppings and add-ins to it. It's really fun to just play around with, and yeah. So I'm excited to see what additional things you guys add in. And finally, one of my favorite candies as a kid, we are making peppermint patties, but we're making green peppermint patties because they are fun and they're festive. These taste exactly like the real deal. I cannot get over them. I'm completely obsessed with their mintiness, with their chocolatiness, and you guys are going to die over them. As always, I am linking to all the recipes down below, so head down there if you want to check them out, print them out, make them for yourself. And if you like the sound of these recipes, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, do all that good stuff. And without further ado, let's get into these festively fun green recipes. All right, so we're starting with 2 cups of baby spinach. We're putting it right into our blender. And then we are adding in our blanched almond flour along with our flax meal. Then we're gonna add in our coconut sugar. You could use brown sugar if you prefer, and some baking powder. Then we're going in with some almond milk. You could use regular milk or whatever nut milk you like. And then I'm adding in some ghee, butter, or coconut oil works, some vanilla extract, and some sea salt. Then what we're gonna do is we are going to separate our egg whites from the egg yolk. So I'm just passing it back and forth in between the shells, putting the yolk into the blender and keeping the egg whites into my little bowl, and I'm gonna set that bowl aside for now. So then you're just gonna pop the lid on and turn it on so that it is all blended up, combined, and smooth. All right, so this is a little trick to make your pancakes super fluffy. So you're gonna go in and whip up those egg whites until they are nice and fluffy and white and the peaks are firm. And then you're gonna put all those fluffy egg whites into the pancake batter and just fold it gently in, and this is gonna make your pancakes nice and fluffy. You can totally skip this step if you want and just put the entire eggs in and not bother separating them, but this is just a little something extra that I like to do to make my pancakes a little bit fluffier. So then you're gonna get a pan over medium-high heat and scoop out some pancake little dollops onto your pan. I forgot to grease my pan, so whoops. They were hard to flip. Once the edges get kind of firmed up, you'll go in and flip them. So it'll be about 3 minutes on the first side, but you know, just eyeball it and then flip it, and then maybe like 2 to 3 minutes on the other side. And yep, make sure you spray your pan. Don't make my mistake. Transfer them to your plate, serve them with butter and syrup or homemade whipped cream and berries, and enjoy.
All right, so next we're gonna prep our pesto spaghetti squash. It's so good. So we're gonna start off by cutting the ends. I just hold it and kind of wiggle my knife back and forth. I find this to be the easiest way to cut the ends off. Stand it up and then cut it lengthwise. Make sure your hand is just holding one side so you don't chop your fingers off. And then go in with your spoon and scoop out the seeds. You can save the seeds for later for a different recipe. Maybe roast them up or something, or feed your squirrels, I don't know. Or you can just discard them. Once you scoop out all the seeds, you're going to place these two halves on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, drizzle it with some avocado oil, sprinkle it with some sea salt, and then you're going to turn them over so that the flat side is facing down, and we are going to roast it for 30 minutes. Then in your food processor, you're going to add your basil, your toasted pine nuts, my favorite, 2 garlic cloves, nutritional yeast. I accidentally got nutritional yeast powder, but get the flakes, and some avocado oil and sea salt. Blend it all together, and it looks like this. It's so good. Once your spaghetti squash is done, go in with a fork to pull the little strands away from the edge of the boat. You can totally scoop out the strands if you want into a bowl. I think it's kind of fun to have a spaghetti squash boat. And once all the spaghetti strands are loosened, dolloped in that pesto, and then go in with your fork to kind of spread it around and get the strands coated with the pesto. It is so good. And then top it off with some additional toasted pine nuts, some basil leaves. You can really go crazy with whatever toppings you want, but today I'm just keeping it simple. And lastly, we are making our minty green peppermint patties. So I have really large molds, so I'm making 9 big ones. These make 30 smaller ones. So I just melted some chocolates and I'm scooping some dollops into my molds. And then I like to use the back of a chopstick and I just go in and really just spread it across the bottom and up the sides a bit. These big molds were a little crazy. I should have used my smaller molds, but and then after it is all coated, we are gonna go and make our filling. So we are using some coconut butter, melt it for about 30 seconds in the microwave so it gets nice and drizzly, and then put 1/2 a cup into a large bowl, along with 1/4 a cup of agave nectar, coconut nectar, honey or maple syrup totally works, 2 teaspoons of peppermint extract, and I'm going in with some green food coloring to give it that beautiful green color. It makes me happy just looking at it. And whisk it together until it's nice and combined. It is gonna firm up a little bit. So if you keep it white, you won't notice this, but for some reason with the green, you'll notice like it got kind of milky. The coconut butter kind of got some milkiness to it. So I just scooped out the green, it kind of left the milkiness by itself. Scoop it out and then go in with your finger and press it down. So then go in with additional chocolate on top of the green minty layer, spread it around on the top. The ones on the bottom, the 2 on the bottom, I decided to just keep it green and minty on the top, so it's half chocolate, half minty layer. I kind of just ran out of chocolate because these molds are so big. So it was fine and delicious, and now we're just gonna freeze them, pop them out of the mold, and they are so good. I'm gonna cut into one and you will see how pretty and fun they are. They just make me smile and they are so minty and delicious. I can't even deal. They're so good. All right, check this out. The color is stunning. Ah, I love them so much.
Alright guys, there you have it. 3 festive green recipes for St. Patrick's Day. I hope you make them. I hope you love them. If you end up making any of these recipes, you have to let me know what you think. I love hearing about your creations. And if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe because I'd love for you to be a part of my YouTube fam. I am Lindsay from thetoastedpinenut.com. Come find me on Instagram at thetoastedpinenut. Happiest St. Patrick's Day to you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!